Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I've shown you some pretty spectacular World of Tanks replays over the last week, some absolutely astoundingly well played games with perfect use of camouflage, concealment, tank mobility, gun depression, excellent shooting. You're not going to see much of that in this video. Now, that should not be taken as a criticism, by the way, of Gotharian here in the M18 Hellcat. Gotharian in a 2-tank platoon with Enviro in the Cromwell B. Gotharian is a Joe average player, just as the overwhelming majority of us are. But sometimes you get those spectacular results, not because of any great decision making on your own behalf, but rather because of some absolutely disastrous decision making on behalf of the enemy team. This match amused me greatly, and I sincerely hope it's going to amuse you too. Gotharian occupying the rather obvious tank destroyer spot here on Abbey at the beginning of the match. You know, if you can get there ahead of the top tier heavy tanks. It's not quite the spot it used to be though. Wargaming have made some subtle changes to Abbey, and you used to be able to get shots at enemy tanks all the way down that central road from this position, but not anymore. Still a pretty risky spot for an open-topped tank destroyer, particularly when there's this much artillery in a match. I have been one-shotted by artillery firing blind, and oh, you have got to be... Did you see that shot on the KV-2? He barely had a fraction of the top of the KV-2 to hit, wasn't fully aimed, fired and scored a hit anyway. His luck's only just getting started, however. They've lost the 3002M that pushed into the centre, they've just lost the ELC. Have a look at this Sherman Jumbo. He's just been hit, he's on a sliver of health, and rather than turn and try to back up and save his life, he instead sits there and waits to get killed. His tracks were not blown off. Terrible decision on behalf of the Sherman Jumbo player. Speaking of terrible decisions, pay attention to the health bar of that friendly OI as it just evaporates. He has just watched the exact same thing happen to a friendly VK3601H that charged off down that road way ahead of everybody else. Didn't wait for the team and got obliterated by a whole bunch of enemy tanks, and for some strange reason he seemed to think it would be different when he got there. And now he's blaming his team. Awesome mid-tier battles, complete lack of self-awareness, fantastic stuff. Gotharian decides it's time to push the middle, and that's when he runs into a surprise T-150, and that 107mm gun on the T-150 does very, very nasty things to thin-shelled vehicles like the M18 Hellcat. Luckily, he's not going to have to take more than one because the Hellcat is very, very quick at getting out of trouble. Even reversing, going down that road there, he was able to reach 30 kilometers per hour. So, note the Su-122A over there. He's about to get obliterated by that sneaky little Leopard. Now watch this. Gotharian's going to auto-aim at the Leopard. But when you auto-aim at something, you aim right at the centre of mass. Yeah. The Leopard just bounced the 90mm gun of the M18. Well, he's not going to do that twice. However, he has now obviously been spotted. Gotharian does not have sixth sense, but the Leopard obviously spotted him. So he stops in the middle of the open, by a miracle does not get killed by artillery, in order to take the shot on that 3601H. If it's stupid but it works, it isn't stupid. What is a KV-85 doing there? What's a heavy... where else would you expect to find a KV-85 in a mid-tier battle on Abbey, other than camping his own base? I mean, seriously, come on, this is World of Tanks. So, unsurprisingly, that massive enemy tank rush, all up the north-south road on the eastern side of the map, has now paid dividends, as Gotharian is shooting into the big fat ass of this KV-85. Yes, his team is being capped. I know, surprising, isn't it? Gotharian was actually, at the point where he was engaging that Leopard, in the perfect position to intercept those guys as they came in into the base. But instead, now he's down here in the enemy base and he's going artillery hunting. Meanwhile, his platoon mate, Enviro, in the Cromwell B, along with friendly artillery, AMX F313, are doing their best to try to get that cap reset. And despite being in the fastest machine in this battle, Gotharian doesn't appear to be in any rush to go back and help them do it. He's just spotted the M44, or somebody has, but he's going to get the kill. It's of course entirely possible that his platoon mate, Enviro, in the Cromwell B is saying, no, it's alright, we got this. Yeah, take your time, kill the artillery. I don't know, I wasn't there. And they are platooned together. It's extremely likely that they're in voice communications with each other. So let's not be too critical of the decision making that Gotharian is making throughout the course of this match, because it is really going to pay dividends, trust me. One artillery kill so far, plenty more on the way. Watch this bishop. What bishop? That bishop. How close do you have to get before you detect artillery these days? And why is he not shooting back? He's not even trying to defend himself. I can only assume that for whatever reason that bishop just quit the match. But hey, at least he didn't suicide. He had ample opportunity. He was parked right next to the river. And the cap has been reset. Some fantastic work up there from Enviro in the Cromwell B, who hasn't taken any damage whatsoever in this game. And oh look, there's the M12. Possible Pascucci's medal up for grabs here for 3 artillery kills. So, step 1, point your gun at the M12. That's not pointing your gun at the M12. Who put that hill there, really? Okay. M12 has obviously seen him. Armour piercing, however, will go through light obstacles, like that wall. M12 knows he's taking the shot. He's coming out, trying to shotgun him, misses, tries to go for the ram. Did absolutely everything he could. Unfortunately, well, yeah, didn't happen. This OI has actually driven all the way back down here in order to defend his flag, which is commendable of him, except for the fact that there is nobody on Gotharian's team actually trying to cap. The IS-2 that he's just about to kill, there he is, and there he goes, did in fact drive through the cap circle 3 kills ago, as Gotharian was killing the M44 artillery, the first of the 3 artillery that he killed. But he was only driving through the cap circle on the way to get somewhere else. The cap counter never got higher than 16. And he's probably regretting that decision, because if he hadn't come all the way back down here, if instead he'd carried on doing what he was doing when he turned around to come back and join the rest of his team in Gotharian's cap circle, they'd have won this game by now. But he didn't do that, and instead he's backing off from a Cromwell B and taking shots in the side from a Hellcat who is finally actually using proper concealment. And there's the kill. So, 1 tank left. And now we find ourselves in the highly amusing situation of having an AMX-13 F3 artillery spotting and scouting, not just for himself, but also for an M18 Hellcat and a Cromwell B Tier 6 medium tank, and actually also doing quite a substantial amount of damage to this Tier 7 Japanese heavy, who, even if he has a 100% crew, only has 380 meters of view range, and that's about the range between Gotharian and this Japanese heavy tank. And I'll guarantee you Gotharian's got camo trained on his crew, so there is absolutely no way this guy can see where these shots are coming from. Of course, he's used all of his armor piercing composite rigid ammo on the OI, so he's just gonna have to, yeah, wait for artillery to do the job. So with that performance, Gotharian got himself an Ace Tanker badge, he got himself a Radley Walters medal, a Pascucci's medal for killing 3 artillery, he got himself the High Caliber, Brothers in Arms for the platoon, they both got at least 3 kills and survived the battle, and of course the Top Gun. And congratulations to him. But here's the thing, we see so many of the very, very best, and sometimes if you're watching my channel, the very, very worst World of Tanks replays when we're watching World of Tanks games on YouTube, that we get conditioned to expect to see people making the best decisions at the right time all the time. And we forget that for the overwhelming majority of players who just don't have that kind of unicum skill set, that spectacular results tend to happen, not so much because of any fantastic decision making and tank driving skills on our behalf, but rather down to the absolutely terrible decision making that's going on all around us by everybody else in the battle. And that's pretty much what happened here for Gotharian, and I'm not taking anything away from him when I say this, and I hope he would agree. He didn't really do anything spectacularly well in that match, but at the same time he didn't do anything spectacularly badly either, and he had a good platoon mate. More importantly though, he had the great good fortune to be surrounded by people on both teams who were constantly making the worst decisions imaginable, and he profited from it and got a fantastic result. And I seem to be getting a lot of these kind of games submitted over the last couple of days. Here's another one. This is the real Shio. He's in the Comet in a Tier 8 match on the Siegfried line, and when I saw the World of Tanks replays results screen of this match, I thought I was in for a treat. Again, this is a spectacular result, but when you see how he gets it, I suspect a lot of the time when people send these replays in, they haven't actually watched the match after they've played it. They've just had a fantastic result. They thought, that's fantastic. I'll submit this to Jingles. I take a look at the battle results screen. I say, wow, that looks like a corker of a game. And then I watch it. And I must hasten to add, by the way, that I get this a lot with my own games as well. Sometimes I'll get a great result. I'll get a Top Gun or a high caliber or whatever. And flush with excitement from the match, I think I must save that replay. That's definitely going on YouTube. And then I come to actually watch the game. And, oh no. Oh, some of the terrible decisions and just blind luck that the Top Gun or the high caliber just falls into my lap, basically. No, there's no way that's going up on YouTube. And I'm convinced that a lot of the time when people are sending replays in, they're not actually watching the game. Because if they did, well, you wouldn't be watching this video. And once again, I do have to hasten to add that the real Shio here in the Comet, and Gotharian in the previous match in the M18 Hellcat, they're not bad players. You know, they're certainly not great players, but they're not bad. But sometimes you get these fantastic results, not as a result of what you've done, but sometimes despite the decisions that you're making. Now, he is scoring some reasonable damage against this Japanese heavy tank number 6 here, the Japanese Tiger with a short 88mm gun. And this is the first real damage that he's doing in this match. But it's going to be quite a slow game to begin with. He never really gets out of this position until the match is well underway. But then again, he is in a Comet after all. I mean, this is a Tier 8 match. It's largely a city map, and he's in a Tier 7 medium tank. And there's one thing that the Comet is very good at. With its strong gun mantle and its good gun depression, it's working ridge lines like this. WZ-111 there. He's switched to the APCR to deal with the WZ-111. Does not have an awful lot of APCR ammunition, but he's going to use all of it. And did you notice the Dickermax that just popped up and got spotted on the hill over there? As that AMX ELC keeps spotting him as he crests the ridge. We're going to see some more of that Dickermax later on. Once again, terrible decisions made by the enemy team, which you're able to capitalise on. Still got the APCR loaded. Goes for the tracking shot on the WZ-111. Scores a critical, retracts him. He uses his repair kit, but the Comet fires so quickly he's able to finish him off. No, he's still got the APCR loaded. He's looking for a shot at the AMX ELC with APCR loaded. Decides he's not going to get a shot at the ELC, so instead fires his APCR at the Rheinmetall Borsig, which is a tank destroyer that only has 20mm of armour. Realises his mistake, his very expensive mistake, switches back to armour piercing. Keeping an eye on the AMX, having a look to see whether or not this Borsig is going to come out for another go, and the Borsig does not. Instead he backs off, and the Borsig is about to get a kill of the real Shio's platoon mate in the Tiger. Yeah, the Borsig's not coming out to get shot up again by the Comet. So, pay attention to the ELC. More importantly, the Dickermax that was up on the hill over there. Also, note that there's 4 artillery in this match. Why the real Shio has not been bombarded to death by high explosive from the artillery? He's in a medium tank after all. They do full damage to him with HE, but artillery haven't fired at him once. Don't worry, we're going to be seeing more of the enemy artillery very, very soon. Do you remember that Dickermax? What is he doing? And yes, he did just bounce off an AMX ELC with his armour piercing. Rams him, backs up, not going to waste another shot, rams him to death again. And yeah, entirely predictable death for the Dickermax in the middle of the field there. And finally, takes 2 hits from artillery. 2 of the 4 artillery have shot at him, and he doesn't use the repair kit. He sits there and waits for the crew to get the tracks back up manually. Leaves the radio operator in a snotty heap in the bottom of the tank. Doesn't use the first aid kit on him. Gets spotted. It's got to be the artillery. And bingo, GW Panther. Having already been shot at by 2 of the artillery, he stops to shoot at the GW Panther and gets nailed again. Again, his tracks are gone. Again, he doesn't use the repair kit. And again, he gets away with it as he does not get hit by artillery for a 4th time. Now there are only 3 enemy artillery left. He's just nailed the GW Panther. He's gotten very, very lucky so far in this game. Where are the other 3? Note that at this point he has armour-piercing ammunition loaded because he's hunting artillery. Not high explosive? Well, personal choice, but there's nothing more frustrating than unloading high explosive into artillery and watching it do no damage. As he reaches the top of the hill, he suddenly changes to APCR. Why? And then misses the Hummel with APCR. And there's the M41. And he misses the M41 with APCR. That's 2 shots fired. 3 shots fired. These are very expensive shots, and he's not hitting with any of them. Does he even realise he's firing APCR at artillery? Does he think he's switched to high explosive? Either way, this is a very, very expensive mistake. Oh, here comes the M41. He's going shotgun. He's hit him once. Oh, this could be... No, he's managed to get him. It's a very, very expensive kill. But he has killed him. He's still got the APCR loaded. Why are you missing Hummel with APCR? What are you doing? Look at your ammo choice. Stop it, man. Finally, again, these are very, very expensive kills. He still hasn't killed him. Oh, here comes a T40. Still got the APCR, bounces a shot in return, nails the T40. Still hasn't managed to kill that Hummel though, has he? And where's the Gorilla? Don't forget there are 4 artillery in this match. Oh, KV-13, tough frontal armour, and of course the one tank he might actually need the APCR against with his final round, it bounces. And then he kills him with regular armour piercing. Oh, and there's the Gorilla. So, yeah, there we go, Pascucci's medal, 3 artillery kills. Can he get a Birders medal for 4 artillery kills? He's got to actually hit the Hummel, which would be nice. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. Hummel tries to shotgun, and misses. He's missed him again. Is he going to miss him? No, he finally kills the Hummel. How many shots did he put into that Hummel before he eventually died? Now, Pool's medal. All he has to do is kill that Tiger. Of course, easier said than done, because he only has 192 health left. And the Tiger does 240 average damage per hit. There he is! Oh! Tracks ate it. Bounces off the side of the Tiger. Tries to go for the Tiger's commander's hatch. Misses. Tiger shoots into his tracks again. Bounces off the front of the Tiger. Tiger bounces off his gun mantlet. Finally kills the Tiger. How lucky is it possible for one guy to get? So that was Ace Tanker. Oh, Dimitri's medal, by the way, not Birders medal. Birders medal is for the unthinkable, getting 5 artillery kills. This was Dimitri's medal, named after the Romanian tank ace, for 4 artillery kills. Still well done. Pool's medal for 10 kills in total. High caliber and obviously Top Gun. But I have to ask, did you even realise what you were firing at the artillery in that match? Because, and I've done it myself. I quite enjoy playing the Comet too, and I have a supply of APCR ammunition in that thing, and I often forget I'm firing APCR, and I have been known to use my APCR to blow away cover that an enemy tank is hiding behind. So I'm certainly not criticising you because I've done it myself, but I just need to know, did you realise you were firing your most expensive high penetration ammunition at artillery? Did you accidentally hit that 2 key when you thought you were hitting the 3 button for your high explosive? Because if you did, well, if it's stupid but it works, and it did work, it ain't stupid. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, folks. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.